The most important rule in Big Brother history, at least in the last couple of days, is that Big Brother can change the rules at any time. With that in mind, 10:39 on Friday, the first ever housemate to be voted back into the Big Brother house went up these very stairs. He's got his gown and the tickle is back to mess with people's heads. It's July 13th, it's day 52. This is my friends, it's Big Brother's little brother. Hello, everybody. How are you? Watch out for the trolls down there. Woo, scary. Coming up on today's BBLP, she was the 13th member of the Big Brother house, and it proved to be her unlucky number. Lisa is out, but boy, she is back with a vengeance. She never got the chance to nominate for an eviction in the house. She will do today, and she's got a lot to get off her ample bosom. Plus, he's a geek, he's unique, and he's back. John's in the house, and we want to hear what you think. And this week's superfan and the top housemate lookalikes. But we'll kick off, as we always do, with Little Brother's Big News. Indeed. OK, here's the sketch. Last night, the housemates faced their 7th Saturday night challenge. It was eyes down for a full house, and they all played bingo. Take a look at this.
Door number 4. Ask for more, 34. Key at the door, 21. That's it, chaps. Raymondo is the winner.
OK, only the winner and one other housemate can enter the reward room. As bingo caller, Scott wasn't allowed in, so Ray had to choose between the remaining 5. Would it be Nush or Steph that joined him in a little romantic tete-a-tete?
Oh, no! No! Wrong choice, wasn't he?
You cheeky rat.
Man, read. Oh, no.
Luxury chocolate, that's all right.
You're going to have to drink champagne with drinks on, drink on.
All right, thanks for choosing me.
Oh, yeah. Big mistake, Raimondo. After a shaky start in the love den, the boys got into the spirit of things. And how? Take a look at this.
This is starting to look a bit suspicious, I think. Us too. Oh, men. That's brilliant.
Never felt this way before. It's the truth. And I owe it all to you.
OK, I can confirm the lovebirds spent all night in the double bed and finally left their nest at 9:01 a.m. and that was with a lie-in. Tonight we can exclusively reveal there's another bingo session and another reward room. This time, for 2 more housemates are going to get a hotel room just for men. Interesting. That was Little Brother's Big News. On Friday night, we saw a Big Brother first. 3 weeks to the day he was evicted. John was voted back into the Big Brother house with 62% of the vote. Very interesting. As always, Big Brother's little brother, well, we were kind of there. We were actually in the bar, but we managed to get together some old VHS camera, and the camera works a bit shaky, but have a look at it anyway.
Is a kind of plan to shake up the house, where we're going to put an ex-housemate back in and the public vote for the person they want. They can't nominate, they can't be nominated, and they can't win. As a viewer, I know who I would like to go in, but as a worker, I'm obviously completely impartial.
With 62% of the votes, it's John Sickles!
I hope that people vote strategically. I hope that they use their vote wisely and put someone in that will kind of shake the house up a little bit.
OK, it's going to be a case of many happy returns for the Ticklemeister, here to discuss the housemates' reaction and John's first weekend back. We're joined by a man who lives, breathes, sleeps, eats, gets paid by... No, scratch that bit. Big Brother, Liquid News presenter, Heat editor and friend of the show, Mark Frith. Yay! And I had a wonderful, glorious Sunday audience. Didn't really know when to clap for yourself then, did you? Could have went, should we be doing that? You're all very lovely today, I have to say. OK, first things first. John going back in. Good move, bad move?
Really good move. Firstly, because what an amazing 5 minutes of TV. The 5 minutes from them all standing just over there with their bags ready, and then where he goes in, and that fantastic bit at the top of the stairs where he goes,
yeah,
my people,
yeah,
kind of surveying his people. It was quite incredible, classic Tickle, and then just walking through the doors with the word evening.
I have to say, I brought my sister down on Friday night, and it was one of those moments when you do sort of like, you know, pride swells in your chest, and you go, see, look, this is the show I worked on, look.
It was proper exciting. It was brilliantly done. But the other good thing about him being in, of course, is he will mix it up. Mm-hmm. I hope in a way that he makes people aware of their behaviour rather than kind of just spreads rumours. What he's doing last night was he's saying that Cameron has got this great plan and turning everyone against Cameron. I don't think that's what he should be there for. He should be kind of seeing an insecurity, tackling people on it, asking them about their relationships, rather than making up stuff.
I'm sure that's what he will do, though, over the last couple.
I hope so, because that's what he promised. That's what he said he was going to do. It was his mandate to get back in there. That's what we voted for.
And if John is anything, he is what he says on the tin.
Oh, he is. The classic Tickle as well. Yesterday, when they were the bingo game had finished, and you know what he's like with his conspiracy theories. He was standing there for 5 minutes looking at the bingo machine thinking, this has to be fixed. And he was so annoyed he couldn't find anything about it that was a conspiracy theory. Yeah. It wasn't fixed at all, and that annoyed him.
OK, do you think John was the best choice out of all the ex-housemates?
He was the only choice. He's the first star of Big Brother 4. I think we've got a star couple on the way with Nush and Scott. And I think Cameron is certainly becoming a bit of a star. But as in being a real celeb, someone people have to talk about and have to see every second of every day, it's got to be John.
But Lisa would have been great also to go straight back in, wouldn't she?
It would have been good. I think that it would have been a weird one for people to vote for get her out and then suddenly to vote for get her back in. And I think that was the only thing that stopped her, I think, from getting back in, actually. So
what do you think they were thinking the minute Tixter walked through the door?
I think it throws them again, and I think they've had loads of things, especially in the last couple of weeks, to really throw them. The evacuation, stuff that's happened with various challenges. No, but that's thrown them.
Yeah, sure.
And I think they're on less even ground than any other group of housemates have been. It's been a weird, especially couple of weeks for them.
Sure, okay.
But then it seems like the reaction you get when people who've been travelling together, who haven't seen each other for ages, it's kind of like, my soulmate is back. And that was kind of what I get. They've really lived this with him, so they want him there. They want an ally there.
Sure thing. OK, John wasted no time at all in letting the housemates know he'd been watching them. Take a look at this.
You've got to remember, I've seen all the diary entries, I've seen all the conversations I wasn't party to, I've seen everything that everybody has said about me behind my back.
That's the reason exactly why they've stuck you back in here as well, to know. Sorry, to bring us something new.
That's not a theory, Ray, I can't possibly do
exactly, that's it.
OK, so how do you see this affecting the house in the next 2 weeks?
I think they were a bit of a gang. I think when Lisa went, who was an outsider, and Lisa was right, they were a clique. They thought, great, it's a really cosy feeling. We've got that clique back together, a kind of purified clique. And now someone who has an outsider's eye, because he's seen all the stuff that's been going on, but also he's someone who does set himself apart and observes anyway. They're going to be a bit cautious again, for different reasons, and probably for more major reasons, because he's seen what they have said about him before coming back in. Sure. And that's going to be quite tough for him.
I was going to say, because the one thing that he's been saying since he got back in there is hinting he knows something about Cameron. I mean, what do you think he'll do?
I think if he's sensible about it, he will challenge people rather than kind of just make up stuff, and he will provoke things through conversation and by eking it out of people rather than just doing something a bit deliberate. I don't really know. At the moment, I just think it's early days, so we've no way of knowing how this is going to work.
Well, one thing that was a certainty the minute he went back into the house was, of course, cometh the John, cometh the gown. Absolutely. And I think we can see a shot of the new gown. He did indeed buy when he went on a date with one of our BBLB viewers. Obviously, our audience were unlucky enough to miss out on that. There's John. What do you think of that new gown? What does that say? That says to me, all business.
And the way he strides so purposefully across the lawn, he's bringing a bit of glamour into the house. And since Tanya left, that has been very necessary.
Interesting you mentioned Tanya. Anushka is still getting the old bazookas out in Australia, so she couldn't take part. Blusher Queen Tanya, however, didn't fancy it, but she's on the phone now to explain why. Hey, Tanya.
Hi, how are you?
All right?
Fine, thank you.
Excellent. Listen, why can't you be here, first of all?
Do you want the truth?
Yeah.
I went out last night.
She naughty girl.
It was a late one.
OK, so why did you decide not to take part?
Just because I enjoyed the experience that I had. You know, I would give myself 3 weeks and I was there for 5. So, you know, that was enough. I just didn't want to be up for the public vote again.
OK. So with that in mind, do you think John's a great choice?
Oh, brilliant choice. the only choice.
Yeah, OK. And what do you think is going to happen in the next couple of weeks with John back in there?
I don't know. I do know that he's going to mix it up. He's very, very clever, and it's in a way that not a lot of people are going to realise, you know, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. So from what he's told me, he's going to shake things up in there. OK, apart from having a very gravelly, sexy voice, what have you been doing since you left the house? What have I been doing? Not much. I've been doing a couple of magazine shoots, which has been really nice. Yep. And I've got one next week, and just meeting up with loads of different people and discussing, obviously, future. Lovely. OK, so who do you want to win now? Oh, I'd love Ray to win, only because he's a really good character in there. Okay. And he's always laughing and joking around. But I'd also love Stephanie to win as well, because she's my friend. Tanya, thank you very much. Go for it. No problem, Have a good day, all right? You too. Baraka. One word. OK, so you've heard what Tanya and Mark think about John. We want to hear your opinions. Before we do that, I want to send you off. You're going to be sporting for us, aren't you? Yes, I am. If you could go over there, please. Sure. Don the Linda Barker Memorial slippers. Oh, can I? The slippers? It's a prerequisite for actually spotting for us. Mark's going to be seeing what John's going to be doing, and indeed the rest of the housemates, through the next couple of minutes. There we go. As you can see, he's in the chair now. He's got the slippers. Wonderful. OK, we do indeed want to hear your opinions. What do you think his game plan could be? Who do you think John will wind up the most? And who do you want him to mess with? Here's how you have your say on today's Cool BBLB. She said all along she was in it to win it, but on Friday night, she lost it.
Oh.
You right?
You okay? What, Lisa? You okay? Come on, come on. It's going to be fun. Come on.
She kicked up a storm and was hugely entertaining from a BBLB perspective, but 82% of you kicked her out, and she is back to use those two fingers after the break. Should be happy on television, always enjoy that. But whilst I'm welcoming you back to BBLB, I've got some very sad news to announce. Unfortunately, there's no White Death shopping competition this week. Yeah. Practicing that all the way through rehearsal. On Wednesday, as leader of the house, Ray had to gamble a shopping budget on the roulette wheel. The luck of the Irish was nowhere in sight as he blew the lot. Consequently, the housemates only have £2 worth of shopping this week, which consists of 2 carrots, as you can see there, 4 tins of chopped tomatoes, 1 tin of sweet corn, and 1 pack of toilet roll. White Death does not get out of bed for less than 5 tins of beans, but she promises she'll be back in full effect next week. They rehearsed that as well. One housemate who, however, never got to taste the wonder of a carrot, tomato, sweet corn and toilet roll casserole is Lisa.
If Cameron comes out tonight, the first thing I'll say is that I'm proud of him. He took a while to warm up being in Big Brother, but the last few weeks, especially since South Africa, we've seen the real Cameron, and I am proud of him.
If she was evicted tonight, I would feel sad. She hasn't even had a chance to nominate anybody or anything like that, which is what she wanted to do.
Be great. I'd love to see her tonight. Obviously, I don't want her to go because we want her to be in there as long as possible, but it'd be nice to see her. We're really proud of her and we love her.
On one hand, I've been in the house and that's exciting, but on the other hand, I will be pretty devastated.
I'm going in there to win, and I'll do my best.
I'll just get back to my normal life and get back to my friends and family. That's the only way I can look at it.
Lisa.
Yes, indeed. In her own words, she was alienated and pushed out on so many occasions, but she took it all on the chin, and we give her credit for it. Here's Lisa! See, that's more like it.
How it should have been.
Yeah. OK, we start with the Ticklemeister. Just very briefly, what are your thoughts about John going into the house?
Absolutely fantastic.
Travesty you're not in there together.
Yeah, I would have loved to have been holding his hand and walking through the doors together. It would have made a fantastic impact.
Did you speak to him on Friday?
Yes, I did.
And how did that go?
He gave me a hug and he said, you were absolutely brilliant. You shouldn't be stood here now. You should still be in there.
Lovely fellow, the Tickle.
Yeah.
OK, what went through your mind when you find out you could have actually been first to go straight back in?
Firstly, I thought it was a joke. Then I thought, put me back in there. I'm strong enough to do this. Put me back into the Big Brother house. I can get in there and shake things up just that bit more.
Imagine after Friday, you probably wanted to go straight back in there, didn't you?
After Friday, yeah, they were a lot of fans as well, though, Dermot. They weren't all horrible people.
No. I mean, me and my sister and her husband were down as well. We're giving it large. Do you think they'll treat John any better than the shoddy treatment that you received in there?
Absolutely not. They know. The reason I was treated like that was because I think, A, I was a threat. B, I knew too much about them in the outside world. And unfortunately for John, so does he, and they're going to alienate him so much on that show, and my heart goes out to him, but I hope he's gone in a stronger person than he came out. I just wish I was in there with him, because I think we'd make fantastic viewing.
I think John would probably deal with it quite well, though, as well. Would you agree? Because, I mean,
absolutely.
He's one of these people that genuinely, and this is what he thinks, and he doesn't really care what anyone else thinks of him.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be brilliant. I will. He's the reason I'm going to be watching the show now, after, you know, even more so. OK, let's go on to eviction night for you. How was the moment you came out? Because it wasn't nice being down here. To be honest with you, going into the Big Brother house was more daunting for me because I knew I wasn't going to be a light character for going in so late into the show. I actually stood there with the adrenaline rushing through my veins, saying, in my head I was saying, I'm going to be booed, keep smiling, you can do this, there's people out there that love you as well, my family, my boyfriend's going to be there. Just take it on the chin, walk out and smile, and that's exactly what I did. Sure. So how was going in then? Going in was a really most bizarre experience, being put into a reward room. They hadn't even told me what they were doing. That's horrible. And I'm sat in this room, and I hadn't even registered it was the reward room because it was just an ordinary, like, studio-type room, and I had sort of beer and pizza, and the feeling of being ignored by certain members, and they didn't even... You know, immediately I was alienated as soon as certain people walked into the Big Brother. Your introduction was so protracted as well. That was the hardest thing for you, I think, because, like, 2 people, then 2 people, then 2 people. Exactly. So you had that kind of same kind of wow every single time. Exactly. You know what I mean? OK, how have people been treating you since Friday? How's it been going out there? I haven't actually been out in the public that much because I've had a lot to do and been incredibly busy trying to, you know, rest in between and sort out all my stuff that got mangled in the Big Brother house. Basically, the people I have met in the hotel I was staying at, they all loved me. I even had the hotel receptionist saying at one stage, when I said, oh, we fell through the separate beds we put together in one of the rooms, I said, oh, it was really funny. He said, no, you were really funny. And I've had people shaking my hands, asking for autographs, so it's not all bad. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's always hysteria on the Friday eviction nights, but I mean, I think a lot of the housemates have found when they come out, and they're actually very nervous, when they go out in the big wide world, it's actually absolutely fine. Everyone comes up and goes, you were great, it was really funny, do you know what I mean? And what about the newspapers? Because that's obviously one of the most daunting things, especially you get that press conference straight away after the night. Absolutely. Well, first of all, the press conference I had, they actually clapped me and they were trying to vote me back into the Big Brother house straight away. It was heartbreaking, Dermot, to think that they could call me a man, a witch, a bunny boiler. It wasn't very nice. I did cry. Thinking that you look a bit like Glenn Close, who I think is a very beautiful woman, by the way. So, you know, the old comparison comes in there. Now, you admit you had a rough time in the house. Was there a highlight at all? The highlight was the leprechaun evening. That was the catharsis, wasn't it? Suddenly it was all off your chest. That was the one evening for me, this series. That was a must-watch evening. It was like this. Everything happened that night. OK, let's take a look.
You're not very pleasant to me sometimes. You're very clique and can be quite hurtful.
With all due respect, right, I'm 35, I'm not stupid, I'm incredibly strong. They picked me out for a bunch of standbys because I am the most strongest, toughest little will ever come across in your entire life. And either one of you, hang on a minute, I'm on my soapbox a sec, any one of you could throw any of your at me at any time and I'll take her on the chin and I'd have gone off like a flare out there if one of you had crossed me the wrong way. You've not gone through what I've gone through. I'm not stupid. I'm switched on. I'm bright. I'm very intelligent. I'm amazingly strong, and believe you me, I am very much respected in the place that I live in. I can argue an argument. I studied politics. I'll argue an argument, and I'll lash any down who dares to tell me I am wrong when I know I'm right.
I personally think that deserves a round of applause.
I tried to learn.
What I love about that as well is you wouldn't have stopped talking. You were just gone that day. It had nothing to do with drink. That was you were just in there.
Actually,
okay.
I hadn't had that much to drink.
That was an impressive thing.
I was like, this bullet went off inside me. I thought, I got to respond. If I don't, I can't keep going to the diary room and going nuts in there.
Absolutely, you've got your pride at stake. Okay, what would you say to, or any particular housemate, if there's one thing you want to say to anyone, what would it be, if you had a chance?
Why didn't you bother get to know the real Lisa? If you had, you would have liked me. If you hadn't turned everything around into something negative. But how I look at it, Dermot, it's their loss,
Absolutely.
not mine.
That's what you have to do. That's what I say to all my ex-girlfriends anyway. Okay, I want your opinion on the rest of the housemates in one sentence. Ray.
Oversexed, completely up yourself.
Cameron.
Not quite sure. He never bothered to get to know me. I haven't got an opinion on him.
Fair to say undersexed, though.
Yeah.
Scott.
Scott, arrogant.
Okay,
rude. Steph, two-faced.
Nush.
Lovely but naive.
Okay, and I know you didn't really meet him, but John.
John, fabulous.
Okay, cool. You'll be nominated later in the show, so don't give your reasons away, but who do you want to see evicted this Friday?
Truthfully, I'd like to see them all evicted.
The way Big Brother's messing with those rules, you never know. Okay, and who do you want to win?
It's a pity about John, but I'd have liked John to have won. But if I have to pick somebody, it's very hard. It's Ashby Nush.
Okay, cool. We've just got a couple of very, very brief questions from our audience right now. First up, Rachel. Hello, Rachel.
Hello.
Go for it.
Why you were kissing Ray? Were you too worried about your boyfriend's reaction?
Absolutely not. I'd already briefed him. I was going up in there to stir things up. It was a drunken spin-the-bottle game.
Is a good lad as well, isn't he? Okay, next up, who's that? Julie. Hello, Julie.
Hi.
Hi, Julie.
Lisa, if you'd been voted back in on Friday, what would your strategy have been?
My strategy would have been, first of all, when those doors opened and I'd gone in, I'd have said, I'm back, and watched the shocked look on all their faces, and then played the game superbly, and I would have gone back in there, whether to win or not, but to win the public's heart back.
Excellent. Okay, Jodie?
The asthma attack that you had during the task, was that the only attack you had when you were in there? And do you think about giving up smoking to help you with that?
I've never been asthmatic in my life, except for when I was a lot younger. I suffered through hay fever asthma. They had put me under a lot of pressure, saying about Federico failing the previous tasks. It was a boiling hot day like today. We had these things around our throats, and stress, actually, it wasn't an asthma attack. My windpipe went into a spasm and cut my breathing off.
Oh, and that's a diagnosis. That's very impressive. Okay.
No, the doctor did that.
Lastly, Verity.
Did you get what you had anticipated from Big Brother?
More. Absolutely more. I know it all seems a bit negative when I come out, but it's a game show at the end of the day. I was in character in there. It was Lisa, but they didn't show much of the real Lisa.
Lisa, thank you very much. This is your best moments. It's a fifth-generation VHS copy. Yeah, absolutely. You gave us a BBUK entertainment in the house. You definitely made your mark. This is your Big Brother life.
In person.
May the best man win.
I'm not frightened of confrontation. If somebody says something that hurts me or upsets me, I will tell them there and then.
You're a tad abrupt.
Got like an intruder. I was first in the shower. Sit down instead. Sit down, sit down, sit down.
If I hear one more time about this breathlessness, I think I'll put my own thumb over the top of her windpipe.
She's quite scary.
I could kill somebody with those two fingers.
You're unbelievable. Everyone is getting on really well and everything is tickety-boo, but I don't think it's going to stay like that. I'm not in here to please them, I'm in here to win a game.
I don't think she has a hope in hell.
Leave me on my own, why don't you all?
To me, this experience is something I want to be able to remember when I'm an old woman. Ugh! I'm just so frustrated because they're just not even trying to meet me halfway.
Lisa.
They are lovely people. I like them all, but put them together as a group, they're like a pack of lions.
I'm 35, I'm not stupid, I'm incredibly strong. You've not gone through what I've gone through.
At the end of the day, I'm the person that came in the 6th week, and they don't like it.
You're unbelievable.
yes, indeed. OK, superfan time now. This week's fanatic is Scott Mattyman. Hello, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
How are you? All right, a 32-year-old technical manager for a website in Buckinghamshire who wants a 22, very low score this week, I have to say. Scott, very not impressed by that. 22 questions correctly. What do you love most about Big Brother?
Oh, it's a fantastic way of seeing the best and the worst of people when they least expect it.
Nice answer. Who do you want to win?
Scott.
OK. You are super fan. You know the rules by now. You have 1 minute to give Lisa a good grilling. Remember, no touching. That woman can kill you with 2 fingers. Time starts now.
Curling tongs or rollers?
Rollers.
Fake tan or foundation?
Foundation.
True or false, you have psychic powers?
Sort of.
So what's the next question? Booing or cheering?
Either.
Item you'd wish you'd stolen from the house?
Nothing.
True or false, you made sure you were first in the shower to annoy Steph?
Absolutely true.
True or false, the housemates were singularly the most unconversationalist people you've ever met in your entire life?
True.
Scott or Ray?
Neither.
Nush or Steph?
Nush.
True or false, alcohol gives you a loose tongue?
No, I'm like it anyway.
Stout or champagne?
Champagne.
What would you have done with the prize money?
A fabulous holiday and a new Mercedes.
Yes or no, the housemates are still invited to your wedding?
No. Oh, they are, but they're serving the drinks.
True or false, dressed in your killer outfit of an evening, you could probably outshine any of them in there?
Absolutely.
Clothes or make...
Not finished that question. Thank you very much, you two. If you fancy invading the personal space of an evicted housemate next week, here is how. Welcome back to Big Brother's Little Brother. I hope everyone's very, very well. Mark Fritz and Lisa are back to find out what you think about John going back into the house with today's cool BBLB. Yeah, we're not doing it at the end of the show. It's right now. That's revolutionary television. Tom from Glasgow's on the phone. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Dermot.
How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Good. What do you think about John going back into the house?
Oh, I think it's an absolute stroke of genius. I mean, he is the first star, as Mark already said, of BB4. He is going to be the Jane Goody of this series.
He's about as far away from Jane as you possibly could imagine.
Oh, I know, but he would love that, wouldn't he? How would he love that? How much would he love that?
I mean, what do you think he's going to be doing in the house?
Oh, John is going to be twisting their minds, I think. I think he's going to plant little seeds and watch them grow rather than attack them straight on.
I think the great thing about John from BBLB perspective is having had him on the show. He's very media savvy already. Do you know what I mean? And yet he can still go in there and still be exactly how he was a couple of weeks ago. It hasn't particularly affected him being out of the house.
No, it's kind of how he is. You see his persona now on TV shows, and when he walked up the stairs and he was being done for the security, and he kind of said something to the camera, he so gets it, but that doesn't change how he is. He's kind of a bit formal and a bit awkward and a bit showman anyway, and he always was. So I don't think he's going to be that different. I don't think when he's in there from how before. It's just now he knows there's more to play around with.
Sure. Okay. Thanks a lot, Tom. Lisa from Manchester's up next. Hello, Lisa.
Hi.
Hi. Well, you don't sound too happy. You don't think John's going to spice stuff up, do you?
Not at all. I don't
What?
like him at all. He makes my skin crawl. I'm sorry. He really does. He came in and he shouldn't have been left. If he was voted out in the first place, why has he been voted back in? He wasn't that interesting to start off with. I just find him pompous, overbearing, nasty piece of work.
Who would you prefer to go in the house?
Lisa. I thought she should go back in because I thought she was fantastic. She made me laugh.
Yeah.
I would have done exactly the same in your situation, mate. Well done.
Lovely. Thanks a lot, Lisa.
No problem. Cheers.
See? Yeah, nice. Yeah, you see. You wouldn't mess with her either, would you? Thanks a lot, Lisa. Woo! John from Woolwich. Hello, John.
Hi, Dermot. Loving your work.
Back at you, buddy.
Thanks a lot.
Always a 180. I'm nothing more than the hell you created. OK, what do you think?
Well, I think John's too powerful.
Really?
Yeah, he walked down the stairs like he was James Bond. I was half expecting him to order a martini. But power corrupts. At the moment, he's everybody's favourite Anakin Skywalker, but he's going to turn into a Darth Vader. He really is. And his head's going to be too big to fit out that door, so I think he's just going to disappear like Yoda.
What do you reckon, guys?
Yeah, I reckon that is a problem. Nothing is going to top the reaction he had when he went back in. Those 5 minutes would have been really exhilarating for him, and it would have been really fun to go back down the stairs, say hello to everyone. But then it kind of calms down a bit, doesn't he? The kind of ego is going to take a bit of a bashing now, because the arrogance was so high then, as you could tell. He was really just strutting. And now it's the reality again has struck him that he's back in there and he's got to make do. Well, not very much money this week either, not much food.
Sure. I mean, I know you're probably the wrong person to ask this, but when you go in there, I mean, do you have almost like a superiority complex because you think to yourself, Oh, my word, I'm in the Big Brother house. It's amazing.
It doesn't... It takes a long time for it to actually sink in, to be honest with you, but he's already been in there once, so he's not going to be fazed by that when he goes in the second time, and I think he'll do brilliant. I think he'll get bored. I think he will get bored.
I do too. He's been a celebrity for the last 3 weeks, and in there he's a housemate, and I think it's going to be tough, and I don't think he realises what the grind's going to be like, actually.
Not only has he been a celebrity, he's kind of been the celebrity.
He has. It's been incredible, and it's all to do with him and his persona, and there's been slots on TV shows just sorted out for him. It's a dream scenario for him, really.
OK, probably last caller today, Vanessa from Exeter. Hello, Vanessa.
Hi, Dermot. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, I don't agree with John going back in either. I think get Lisa back in. She livened it up a bit.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did really well, girl.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Thanks, Sam.
OK, no worries. OK, on last week's show, we managed to get our hands on letters written by the boys to a top agony aunt from a men's magazine. I can't believe we actually got them, but would you believe it? We've only found 2 of the girls' letters. It's incredible. First up, Steph.
Dear Flick, I'm a 28-year-old brummie. I love to have a laugh and a giggle with my mates. And they call me Pocket Dynamite because I'm always on the go. The trouble is, I got quite close to one of my friends recently, and then he went on a trip abroad and hasn't been the same since he came back.
Well, actually, Cameron, you've come back a different person.
I need to know whether he fancies me or not, as the not knowing is driving me to drink. P.S. I love cleaning and can't seem to put me back down. Do boys like a good scrubber?
Here to give Steph and some lessons in love is Agony Aunt from Company Magazine and friend of the show, Flick Everett. Yay. Well, I have to say, it's looking a bit like Vicky Michelle today from Hello Hello.
That's not good, is it?
Good morning. And trust me, I want to be Gordon Kay right now.
That's a good thing.
OK, Steph and Cameron, any love there?
I don't think so. No, I think they're both a bit lonely, and I think that you tend to be attracted to people who are slightly on your wavelength if you're stuck in a situation with them. It's like going on holiday and meeting someone that you get on with really well and you've not got anything to say to them when you get back.
Oh, but don't you think Cameron loves her?
Not really, no. I don't think Cameron knows who he loves.
All right.
That might be the problem.
OK, your advice, therefore, to Steph with dealing with men?
Well, I think Steph needs to be aware that if she wants him to find her attractive, if she wants a bit of flirtation, she's got to be a bit less of a tomboy and a bit less of the big sister role that she plays so well. She's great fun, everybody loves her, but she doesn't do that Nush little flirty, eye-batting, hair-flicking thing. And some men
Nush does that really well.
No, she does it so well. Oh, my God.
I think Steph's got it if she wants to use it. Do you know what I mean? She's got a lovely colour on her.
Lovely colour on her. Lovely colour. Oh, yes.
Help me out here, come on. I'm dying to death.
Lovely colour was a really strange thing to pick, if you don't mind.
She's got, where is she? Look, she's got it all. She's got a good figure.
She's got a great figure, pretty girl, nice girl, but she's a bit of one of the lads, I think, is what it is.
OK, so even if there's a mild attraction between the two of them, who's likely to make the first move, if anyone does?
If anyone did, I'd say it would probably be Cameron, but I don't think that they will. I really don't.
Do you think it would be a rebuff? Do you think Steph would?
She might get along with it if she was drunk, because that always seems to help in Big Brother. You know, copious amounts of alcohol seem to fuel things nicely, don't they?
God bless the soul. OK, is Steph's cleaning obsession connected with her love problems? Strange question. I read it.
Getting a little bit Freudian now.
Yeah, like I said, strange question.
Yeah. No, I think it might be a little bit, distracts you, you know, if you're a little bit lonely and frustrated, it can be something to do. But I think it's more about getting even more psychological. It's more about having a bit of mastery and control over your environment, because she's not got any control in any other area, because she's trapped in this house with these people that she hasn't necessarily chosen to be with. And cleaning at least gives you some control over that.
Sure. OK, next letter is from the only girl left in the house. I can't believe... I don't know how we got this letter. It's from Nush.
Dear Flick, I'm a 23-year-old yoga-loving free spirit. I love to be creative and I have a little naughty streak in me. I get on well with all my housemates, especially the boys, and I do enjoy the odd flirt, but it's all innocent fun.
You suck your thumb and I suck my thumb.
I've got a boyfriend, you know. Really, I have. Or have I?
So dumb.
The problem is, one of my friends admitted he liked me the other day, and I don't know what to do about it. I feel a bit confused. P.S. Is all the cheap wine, songs and snogging good for hippie Nushy?
Yeah, very interesting. I don't know how we got that. You did actually get it probably from the diary room or something like that. So, advice that you give Nush about the whole Scott-Nush situation?
Well, so much advice, really. I don't think that she would really go for him outside of the house. Because I think that if there was this great burning attraction, it would have been more obvious before now. You know, they spent weeks not paying any attention to each other, really.
So you're thinking package holiday?
I'm thinking package holiday in a big way. I'm thinking sangria and waiters waiting at the airport, to be honest.
Do you think that Nush is wrong to flirt with Scott, therefore? Because I think Scott can be quite
She's not wrong to flirt. I mean, she's a very attractive girl. She's in her 20s. She's been starved of attention for weeks and weeks. She doesn't know what the public think of her. So it's always nice to have an ego boost, and none of us are above a bit of flirting if we think it might work. But I'm not counting myself there at all. But I do think that she's not really that crazy about him. And once she gets out of the house and sees things with a more reasonable perspective and looks at her whole life and the boyfriend situation and all that, she might think...
Well, that's what you said. I mean, she's obviously got a bigger problem. And now, I don't know if we can corroborate this at all, but there was a story in The Sun yesterday. Can we take a look at that? Now, obviously, we don't know if this is true or not. We'll love a dumps Nush. So, I mean, what would your advice be for her dealing with that kind of thing seriously? Because that's nothing, and no one ever wants to see that.
That's not good. I mean, first, I must say that I also read in that story that her boyfriend's band is called Foreplay. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, dump him now. Find someone else. But I think that she's going to get out of the house and think, oh, my God, what have I done? She may already be thinking that, in fact, judging by the evidence. But I think she needs to be honest with him, with Jeff, her boyfriend, and just say, look, I was really drunk, I was really lonely, hadn't had any attention for weeks. Scott's a nice guy, but, you know, he might not be right for me. This is if she wants him back, of course.
Sure. Lastly, do you think there's any hope of a proper snog in the house?
Well, between Steph and Nush, maybe. But, no, not really. I think there might be a drunken snog, definitely, and we'll all get excited about it and think, finally, it's all happening. But I actually think that if anything had really been going to happen, it would have been a bit of a Paul Helen situation. It would have happened long before now. And I don't think there's going to be.
If that's all you're offering, I'll take a drunken snog any day.
I'm sorry.
OK, thank you very much. Flick, everyone. OK, she smoked. She smoked, she swore, she even snogged a leprechaun, but there's one thing Lisa didn't do in the Big Brother house. Take a look at this.
No other housemates will nominate this week.
Am I ever going to get to do it?
Don't worry about it.
But I'm nominated. And I'm of the opinion that that's what Big Brother's all about. Right. It's just a part of the Big Brother process, which means if I haven't done it and I leave, I haven't done it.
Hello, this is Big Brother. Please give them your first nomination and explain the reasons for this nomination.
My first nomination is Steph. The reason is she's a backstabber, she's two-faced, and she turns everything I said in the house into a negative.
Now, could you give the name of your second nomination?
My second
and
nomination...
explain the reasons why.
My second nomination is Ray, and because he's too up himself, opinionated, and oversexed.
Finally, can you please confirm the names of the two people you've chosen to Sexy Big Brother?
My two nominations are Steph and Ray.
She wasn't in the house at all. She's here. Does it make you feel better?
Absolutely.
Good. That's what we like to think this show's all about catharsis. And coming up after the break, we find out which housemate looks like a Thunderbird baddie. See you in 3. And back to the final part of today's BBLB Evictee special. Still to come, Lisa judges the best housemate lookalikes. First, a quick news recap. Yes, indeed. OK, last night, the housemates faced a 7th challenge. It was eyes down for a good old-fashioned bingo session. See there, Scott was the bingo caller, and after a marathon session, which no one wanted to win, Ray finally did.
Raymondo is the winner.
OK, he could only take one other housemate into the reward room and chose Cameron, as he'd missed out on the Irish pub last week. However, what Ray didn't know was that the reward room was a love shack, complete with a double bed, luxury chocolates and champagne. The lovebirds got into the sexy spirit of things by trying on makeup and painting their nails. OK, and they spent the night together in a double bed, leaving the house, or the room, sorry, at 9:01 a.m. Those are today's headlines. Yes, indeed. OK, Mark, how are things?
It's been really eventful. You know, usually someone sits there and nothing happens. It's been really eventful.
Thank goodness for that.
They've been told that there is going to be another reward room tonight, and it's going to be for 2 people. Ray said he's going to be the bingo caller, which opens up a whole load of possibilities for who could be in there. Cameron's already said he's going to pick Steph. John has said he's going to pick Nush. And Nush and Scott at the moment are contemplating actually picking each other, which would be brilliant. Because they think this is going to happen every day now until the end of the week. So they think, let's get it over with. I don't think it's going to go on apart from tonight. But they think it's going to go on all week. So they think, let's get it over with. Let's me and you go in there tonight. So there's a real possibility if either Nush or Scott win that they will choose each other.
Have they guessed it's men only?
Ray, for some reason, suspects it is. Ray suspects it's going to be a boys' night in. He also said his steak last night was perfectly cooked. By the way.
Lovely.
At 1:26.
That's nice to know. Who would be your ultimate couple to go in there?
I think it would be really interesting if Steph and Nush went in there because they've got a girly chat. But I just think something interesting will come from Scott and Nush being in there. I don't think it cannot be interesting. It will either die down a bit after or it will heat up again. And I think it will be interesting. But also Steph and Cameron will be, because then we'll see. We don't really know how they really feel about each other. We don't know how Steph feels about Cameron. Tonight, if they go in together, we will find out.
It'll be also interesting to see how John does if he goes in there with anyone, and what he says and what he gives out.
Well, John will certainly want to go in there with Nush. I think that some people may feel sorry for John and invite him in there anyway because he's not been in there yet and he's not had many of the rewards because the reward room's not been going. So I think he may go in there, but I kind of think, apart from a bit of stirring up, we're going to get a better scenario if someone else goes in other than John.
Marky Mark, we are nothing but your funk bunch. Thank you very much. OK, last week on the show we met the best Goss lookalike in Britain, who was so good. His name was Sam Kazam. He was so good he even freaked Goss out. That very afternoon, the housemates talked about their very own celebrity lookalikes on BB. Take a look at this.
Someone said to me in the first audition, have you ever been told you look like anyone? I said, yeah, Matt Damon and Will Young. And they went, no, I was thinking of Robbie Williams. And I went, no.
I've had Davina Taylor, Daryl Hannah, Danny Bear,
Do you know what I mean?
and Princess Diana when my hair was shorter.
Really?
OK, we have been getting buku emails from the viewers on what celebrities they think the housemates look like. We'll pick the 3 most popular, and Lisa is here to judge how they are. OK, hey Lisa, you all right?
Hello.
Lovely stuff. OK, first up, we have Sharon from Kent who wondered whether this man has a love child in the house. Let's take a look. Now, I don't know if anyone knows, this is Dave Hill from Slade, lead guitar in the 70s glam rock supergroup, Slater from Wolverhampton, and had 16 top 10 hits. Lisa, who in your mind does Dave Hill look like? Difficult, I know. Can we take a look at that again? There we go.
In the house, I would say Ray, probably.
OK. This might shock you, ever so slightly. Let's take a look. Ta-da! That is not the best picture, I have to say, of Dave, but up close, Steph could quite easily be his daughter. OK, now, Steph isn't the only female housemate who has a male double. You said you look like Daryl Hannah, Danny Bear, Princess Diana, but Steve Benison from Chesterfield reckons you look a bit like the very effeminate, I might add, Robbie Savage. Take a look at this. There's Robbie, yeah? Who has long hair, as you can see. Now, that could be your brother, couldn't it? Take a look. Have we got like a steel store across... Now that, I'm sorry. What do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Welsh. Are you sure you don't,
Anything.
Robbie is a midfield maestro for Premiership football team Birmingham City. Has a reputation of a bit of a hard man. I've seen him play, actually a bit of a diver. And finally, Ravinder Jagdev, apologies if I said that wrong, from Telford, reckons a certain housemate has been separated from birth from the Thunderbirds character called the Hood. Now there's the Hood. Now, just to give you a little info on the Hood, everyone, he's a Thunderbirds bad guy. He's named the Hood because of his many disguises. He collects secrets and sells them to the highest bidder. Who does the Hood look like?
Ray.
Can we take a look at them together? Yes, indeed. The Hood and Ray. Ray there from the Hood. Now, enough of these celebrity lookalikes. We're still getting loads from you lot. So here is this week's top 3 viewer lookalikes. Before we do that, actually, I just want to give away, we've got these rollers, yeah? Mm-hmm. These are your rollers. They even have your hair in them.
Yes,
so, with that in mind, who do you think wins that competition?
The Thunderbird.
Thunderbird, you think?
Yeah, the Thunderbird.
Excellent. OK, we'll make sure they get that. OK, let's have a look at these house lookalikes. We're still getting loads from you. These are this week's top 3. First up, Colin Fletcher, who's 33 from Kent. That's incredible.
That is, actually. Crikey, they could be brothers.
Now, he is a computer programmer. Loads of people commented on it like this. He even stands out like him. What do you reckon?
Absolutely brilliant.
Isn't that incredible, everyone?
Yeah.
Look, they're dumbfounded. OK, next up, we have a viewer who thinks he looks a bit like Ray. Take a look at this. Now, this is Martin Spiller, 41-year-old decorator from Slough. Now, we don't know whether his hand is actually glued to his face, so I'm not entirely sure if he takes it away, if he's got the same jaw or anything. What do you reckon?
Not as good as the first one, Cameron.
Yeah, interesting, okay. He's been getting strange looks when he goes out shopping, and his partner reckons he's got the same mannerisms, and he gets angry when he's drunk, just like Ray. And finally, our last lookalike is a dead ringer for Steph. Take a look. Now, I don't think it's a good picture, but everyone says she's huge. She's from Cardiff. She's Kerry's sister Alison sent the letter. They're both massive Big Brother fans. What do you reckon?
If you gave her dark hair, she is, I think she's prettier than Steph. But
So who's the winner there?
Steph lookalike.
Okay, Steph lookalike. We'll send you some of these as well. Okay, that's all we've got time for on today's show. Please do keep them coming in. Before we go, just to let you know that Lisa's going to be on BBLB all week, and tomorrow she's going to be analysing your dreams. If you've had a weird one recently, you want to know what it is, BBLB at channel4.com, BBLB at channel4.com. Thanks to all our guests today. Mark Frith, Flick Everett, Superfan, and, of course, Lisa, everybody. Yes, indeed. You've been all right today?
Fantastic.
Good. It hasn't been a painful experience at all?
Not at all. I just melted.
Thank you very much. And you're with us all week, so please do enjoy your week. It's the most important thing. Lisa, everybody, I think. OK, back tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And please do not forget to catch Big Brother, 9 o'clock tonight on Channel 4. See you tomorrow at 6. Take care. Bye-bye.